Today's podcast is sponsored by Lumi deodorant. Lumi whole body deodorant changed my life. Use code CANCELED at Lumi deodorant, LumeDeodorant.com to save money on their starter pack and more. More information later in the episode.
Hello and welcome back to the Canceled.
No way! Was that our intro?
Well,
that was our intro.
It was gonna be until you ruined it.
I'm sorry if my energy is low right now. Whenever we shoot at 5:30 p.m., which is always because that's my breakfast time.
Is November 1st today, and it is 86 degrees today.
I could go out there and tan right now. The sun is
they're not kidding about
beating on us, and it's exhausting me.
Global warming.
Is that so? That's what that is.
I don't really understand.
Like, why is it this hot in November?
Every year, or at least for the past few years, it's been like one day all of a sudden it's frigid.
And what's
you're
up with that? Like the sun's just like, see y'all next year.
I guess she's really showing up and showing out for her last days.
So Brooke, I haven't seen you
at all
in like 14 days maybe. So 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks. Woohoo!
Yeah, well, actually, I haven't seen you since we filmed the last episode.
Yeah, so it's been like a second there. A second there.
I know. I meant to see you that next day. You had your Halloween party that next day. We talked all about it on the last episode. I was like so excited.
Yeah, I talked about how I had no idea how I was going to throw a party sober.
Uh-oh.
Breaking news. I couldn't. I didn't. Ugh. I mean, what do we get into first? You not attending or me attending, but as Tina, the drunk woman?
I think you just tell us about your experience and then I'll explain why I didn't go.
I used to like thoroughly enjoy throwing parties. And this was also just a very different situation where I was like throwing it for this rich guy, trying to make him happy in his house, where normally it's like my house or my venue I rented out or like whatever. Mm-hmm. But the pressure of hosting almost damn near killed me. Like it was just a lot.
It is a lot.
It's because you
not for
invite
everybody.
300 people and everyone needs something, and a lot of things just happened at this party that like people were naked in the pool and like fighting at the door to get in, and like I kept having to go to the door and like fight people, and like it would like and just be like, I don't know, you leave. Like it was just like so much was going on. Overwhelming, and that's what eventually cracked me to have a shot or two, which I don't know if I'm mad at yet. Because I feel like I would have had zero fun sober, and I had a lot of fun.
No, I'm not mad at it. I just you know me. I love your little sober era.
Me too, and I'm
not talking shit. I got a beer in my hand.
And I'm about to. Like, the thing is it's just like, fuck. Like, I just did another 60-something days sober, and it, like, again, it was awesome. I worked so hard. Like, I was so present, whatever. But, like, I didn't really have any fun. I don't necessarily know if I was, like, that happy.
Yeah, but
like,
you were very productive during that time. You got a lot done that you probably wouldn't have. And
100%.
You avoided, like, the problem is you don't know what you avoided because it didn't happen. But like, do you ever like something horrible happens and you're like, oh my God, had I not been drinking, this would not have happened.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
Like, you don't know how much during that 60 days like probably would have happened. Like,
oh yeah,
that you would have just.
And it is, I like noticed that over the past like Halloween that I was drinking, which I'll get into, like how much I do avoid when I am sober, you know, because I am, but at the same time, I feel like I'm living this like mundane, boring life of like a 35-year-old when I'm sober.
Yeah, I feel like you just do need to find like a little bit of a happy medium.
For sure. Or just happiness. Well, I'll get into my whole... Mm-hmm. I'm in a weird place right now, but I did have the best Halloween, and we will get into that. So
I missed your Halloween party. I did.
It's so funny though, because like you say it with like remorse, and like I hope you know, like, well, I've always been this way. Like sometimes people can't make things, and that doesn't bother me.
I know, but that does bother me, so that's why it bothered me to miss it, because it's like I get on people so hard about like missing my things.
Yeah.
However, this particular situation, it wasn't like your birthday party or something. It was like,
yeah, everyone like thought it was, by the way, the whole night everyone kept telling me happy birthday, and I was like, oh.
Well, Tanaween.
I guess that's true.
I knew you were like throwing it for somebody else. I knew that, like, I took a look at the list and it was like 90% people that I don't know. Like,
it was everyone you knew, like when it was actually
so?
There. Yeah.
You know this already, but I'm not in like...
You're dolce'd out.
I'm having a little bit of a mental hiccup. Where
we both are in different ways, though.
I am. I'm just not like... You know when you can identify a problem and you know what the causes are. Like, I know that it doesn't help, like, my mental, for me to be drinking, for me to be going out, for me to be, like, doing drugs, whatever.
Yeah.
I know that makes it worse. Like, a situation that's already bad, it makes it worse.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if I can avoid it, I need to for a second.
And the Halloween of it all is so like stressful. Like I need a costume. I need to look amazing. I have to like see everyone and take all these photos and talk all night.
And like you said, it's like, you know, people are running around naked. People are struggling to get in the door. It's not like I'm just hanging out with all my friends here and drinking. It was like, it was just an overwhelming situation for me when I was already like mentally like a little off.
I mean, it's performance art, literally.
It wasn't just that too. I didn't go out once. I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm literally going outside in probably 2 weeks.
I get that though. Sometimes you need to take a break for your mental health, and I feel like
I had to. You know, you guys.
Brooke
I went
was guns
crazy.
blazing to everyone.
No, it was bad. I was like really.
I think you cussed out every single person downstairs.
I did,
6 times.
and you know what's so horrible about it? I was just saying this like literally right before we started. It's like I didn't choose a target. I decided that I was gonna go 100%
like fire at
every single person in the group at once, so that like there was nobody on my team. I was just horrible to everybody.
You honestly, you didn't fire at me though, but I think you're always firing at me.
No.
So then you took all of that energy and just put it to everyone else. So I was like, well, everyone's like, oh my God, like when she cusses you out, what do you do? Like everyone was like coming to me and I was like, oh man, I'm just happy that I get a day off.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, to be clear, it's not like I was just like out here cussing everyone out, but I was just really, I was really going like a little crazy.
Yeah. And we all go crazy in different ways.
I identified it and I was like, whoa, what? Like I woke up, basically there was like a situation where I just went so crazy on everybody in our group chat, like so insane, and it was completely unwarranted. It was just out of nowhere. I went insane. I
just had popcorn.
And the next day I was like, I woke up in the morning and I was like, oh no, why did I do that? I was drunk. And that's not why I did that, but it didn't help that I was drunk. So I was like, you know what, I'm not going to drink for a second. That was right before you party. And then I didn't drink, or I didn't go out for
understandable completely. Because it's like, I almost feel like through partying, I realized a lot of things. And like, maybe you had like saved yourself from doing that, like going out again and realizing a bunch of shit that you maybe already knew, or having different things manifest or whatever, you know?
Yeah. I just have a hard enough time managing it without that. So it's like, if I can eliminate one like major contributing factor, I'm gonna.
I love the idea of being there for your friends when you can. And then I have always said this, but like being understandable, like being understanding when you can't. You know what I mean?
I know, but you see, this is where we're gonna disagree. It's because now you have a get out of jail free pass.
Well, I think there should be no jail.
Yeah, but you can't miss like birthdays or weddings.
I think you can. I think it's like, hey, like
I know, and I think you can't.
I know, and it's bad because I think it's like, oh my God, send some flowers. I couldn't make it, like, because I understand, like, literally, you could miss my wedding, and if you were like, listen, I'm sick.
That's what we always disagree on, is because since I don't feel that way, or like since you feel that way, I understand why you don't think it's a big deal. But like, if it is a big deal, like for me, when somebody like misses something that I know they know is important to me, it makes me sad.
I think if it's like deliberate or purposeful but
if it's something avoidable, like sleeping.
But just like if someone's going through it like in any fucking way, like I've just always been the type of person where it's like, I know everyone has their own life and their own journey and their own shit like that. But that's just how I am. I don't know.
I know.
But now we're even.
Agree to disagree.
I missed your podcast launch with Becca Moore, and you hung me at the stake.
Honestly, no, that was foreshadowing. You knew before we knew.
Right. I missed that. I almost got hung at the literal stake. She told me she was going to fuck my crush. I was on a plane to Miami. I almost killed myself.
He was our crush.
I was literally crying to Jeff on this plane to Miami. Like, why did she do this?
Not your crush. He was our crush.
He was our crush?
I DM'd him first, and then I handed him off to you when I realized how passionate you were about it.
No, he's no one's. He's literally no one's.
He's
someone's.
Got a boyfriend. Oh wait, girlfriend. Something
for sure. But yeah. I loved that role reversal. Honestly, I live for it.
I knew I had like a little bit of wiggle room. I knew I could miss the party and you wouldn't be upset. But we did have like an imaginary feud online. Everyone's like, oh,
yeah, no, happened? All my comments were like, oh my God. And the way I was just like, who gives a, like,
well, what's funny?
I love Brooke. Like, I'll see her again. Like,
I can't. I think today, I mean, of course this changes all the time, but I can't even imagine myself going to like a party right now. Maybe like I love to go to events like brand events or like things that are like
more structured, less Project X.
Yeah, I'm trying not to go out and like with the intention of just getting blacked out.
Yeah.
Like I want to go to things that are like, oh, I'm going to this. It's a work thing. And then I'm also going to drink.
Yeah.
I'm in my working era.
I know, I love it. I do love to see it. You know, I love to see that.
I'm never like that.
Yeah.
I'm not money motivated at all usually. And I'm like,
I get so upset
Whatever,
at her.
if
I'm like, come on.
I know, but I
please.
feel so much better about it, especially like these past few weeks. I'm like, oh my God, like what can I do today?
And I love it. I love to see you on your grind. I have been the exact opposite.
You're the best about that.
But I took Halloween off.
But that's good. Like, it's still your job. Like, your job is being an influence, bitch.
I feel like people, this is going to be the most out of touch sentence ever. But like, I've always put my foot into like Halloween and like serving the looks.
I like put my foot into
that shit. Like, I'm just like, I'm going to have 8 costumes and I'm going to get full glam and I'm going to like dress up as all the things people request and like, you know what I mean? Like, give the people the serve they deserve, or at least try. And like, I've always had so much fun with it. But last year, like, we always talk about this, Paige and I especially, but like everyone, is where it's like the worst month of the year is October, because it's like my whole normal life and like job, and then it's like every single day on top of that, it's like I'm in a glam chair for 5 hours, and then I'm shooting for fucking 3, and then I'm making content for another 2, and then I'm going out to an event.
You should just start in March.
I really fucking should. And last October, I was like, I swear to God, November 1st, and that's today, is the day where I can first like finally breathe again. Like, I'm like, okay, I don't have 1,000 things to do today on top of the 1,000 things I have to do today. And I never want to be like, it's so hard, but like, I'm done.
Yeah, you do got to be careful these days. I see what they're doing to Charlie online.
What? Oh, like,
just like you're
bitching about your job at all.
You're definitely not allowed to say being an influencer is hard, but it is like you are doing a lot.
I just take on like way too much, and then October is always like the height of that.
That's the thing. You can only do so much in a day.
Exactly. And it's like, I try to have 3 days in a fucking day all of October, and it's like November 1st is always the day where I'm like, oh my God, I made it through that.
Well, happy November, like, sister.
Thank God. Literally, I swear to God, my whole team, everyone was like, oh, happy Halloween, like not excited about Halloween, like happy it's done.
Ugh, but you were so good. Your Christina look was everything.
Next year I'm being like Dr. Phil one time. I'm being like Adam Sandler one time. Quinlan Blackwell as Mr. Clean.
Her fucking, no, all of her looks, like she did. Oh my God,
she was everything. Amazing. Everyone. That's the thing too, is I used to feel like not as many people did it. Like, there were the certain influencers who like took Halloween like super seriously, and I love to like be a part of that. And now it's like, but it's your whole timeline every day of the month, and the competition and the comparison in your head, and
I know, I fucked up. I didn't even do one costume.
No, we were Ronald.
Yeah, but like,
and we were The Shining.
But both of those situations were like, I showed up here and you were like, put this on.
Absolutely forcing you. But next year, I swear to God, I'm being Adam Sandler one time, and hopefully I'm married with kids. Like, this was my last like Halloween in LA, and I think that's why I was like, okay, I'm gonna drink and I'm gonna like have a lot of fun, and I'm gonna do this like I always have.
Get it out, baby.
But it's the last time.
I think it can still be fun. I think you're growing up. I don't think next year it's going to be an influencer party for you.
And I was happy to like do it this year and know it was like my last hurrah.
Well,
like,
what was it like? Was it like, besides the naked people and the people trying to get in, was it fun?
It was really fun. Like, because I think everyone comes outside and you see everyone you haven't seen, and everyone's dressed up and just so much fun. You have all these nights with people that you haven't seen in a long time, and everyone's dressed up crazy. And like, I did have a lot of fun. I wrote down a lot of old LA party stories that I want to tell from like over the years today in my notes. Because like, the other night at the end of it, Chris and I were talking about like, we missed this party. Fire Roman was throwing a party. They were like, Soulja Boy's performing. It's Y2K themed. It's at a like Hyde rented out, right? And Lila was like, we've literally lived that exact night like 30 times. And then Chris and I got into this whole deep talk of like, I think that's why it's no longer exciting, because you could literally get a randomizer, like at random celebrity, random event, like Justin Bieber is doing this at this place. Like, I've lived
and
that
you've
night.
done it, yeah.
Like, and it's like, we were just like talking about like every single night ever has possibly happened. And it's like, maybe that is why it's more exciting for like these newer TikTokers, because it's like,
it is sad. I remember when I first got here, it was like, oh my God, Tyga's gonna be there. Like,
I watched
crazy.
Tyga perform 6 times last week.
Dude, I'm not kidding. I saw Tyga at the grocery store performing.
If I hear Rack City live one more time, I made it a whole series on my close friends. Like, just every time I was at a party this week, I would just be like, there he is
Dude,
again.
he's like Mariah Carey. He is in his Halloween bag.
Every year. And I respect it because they pay him so fat. It's like, why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? But
it is just like, I get what you're saying. It's just not as exciting anymore. It's still like, I recognize that it's cool, but I don't need it anymore. I have no FOMO.
I know his set list.
I remember I don't even like him. Especially when I first got here, I used to feel like every time like I had an opportunity like that, I was like, oh my God, I'm never gonna get to do this again. And now I sleep sound at night thinking like,
I could do this
that will happen next week.
I think what really just threw me through a loop was Amari's birthday is always like It's October 22nd.
Oh yeah, I skipped that too.
And it's always, you were out here skipping shit. Well, you
well,
did, to be fair, you
I
did
was
start.
in fucking side.
You started Armageddon right before his birthday, so I don't think you were like, let me go on a trip
but I
with all
already
these
wasn't
people.
going before I did that. I think that's why I felt so comfortable doing it right then.
You were like, I can cuss everyone out. I'm not going. We went to Vegas for Amari's birthday in the middle of Halloween. Like normally for his birthday, he like wants a party or like is down to do a trip like earlier that month, or like I've surprised him with like a Rolex or like just different shit. And this year he's like, all I really want to do is go to Vegas near my birthday.
Just a little something.
And like our mom was graduating college as well.
Oh yeah, congrats, Stabs.
Congrats, Debbie. My mother, she just graduated college on the 27th. And she was like, if you guys miss this, you're fucking dead. You know what I mean?
See, you wouldn't sleep through that because it's important to her.
Yeah, but I would have gotten like beat. Well, I guess it's the same thing with you, really.
Mm-hmm. I am Debbie.
I was like, we have to go there for her graduation anyway. So if you want to go to Vegas so bad, let's do a Vegas trip.
Let's do it.
And let's do it all. But throwing that in the middle of Halloween, like a Vegas trip,
was pretty crazy.
I've never had a Vegas trip like this one. We worked with so actually your manager, Mr. Greg Goodfried.
New manager, y'all.
He manages the D'Amelios. He's a great friend of mine. He set me up with my manager, Seth. They're best friends. And so I've known Greg forever. And I text Greg and I was like, hey, like, I know this is a shot in the dark, but like, could I ever have like the D'Amelio contact, like the Kardashian contact at Resorts World? Like, can they like take care of us like that? And he was like, sure. Like, here it is. Like, what do you want?
That's so amazing.
And so I get
to know.
I get on the phone with Resorts World and I'm like, yeah, like it's my best friend's birthday. Like, if you guys just wanted to take care of us in exchange for some content, like I would love to work out a deal with you. Like, blah, blah, blah. I'm negotiating this deal. And I'm fully ready for them to be like, here's a 1 king room. You guys can have a free dinner. Like just anything would have helped, right? And they're like, perfect, Mrs. Mongeau. They give us the biggest penthouse at Resorts World.
Oh,
Butler
you got
service,
that D'Amelio treatment.
like Rolls Royces and shit picking us up from the jet.
It did look so amazing.
Like I've never had a trip like that because I'm always the one like it's just on my dime usually, or like we work with like a off brand, and it was the most. They were treating Amari, I swear to God, like Barack Obama landed there.
As they
like
should. As they should.
I've never seen, and it was so much fun.
It looked a lot of fun, but again, so overwhelming.
The most overwhelming, absolutely ever.
And you were back to drinking by this point.
Well, yeah, and that was just one of those things again where I felt like I had no choice because everyone was so.
There's always a choice, but I get what you're saying.
That's true. That there is always a choice, and I have learned that. But it really isn't.
Like when that many people around you are drunk, that was like my thing. Is I know if I'm around it, I'm gonna do it.
Like I'm throwing a party in the suite. What I'm just supposed to sit there with my. I don't. And I guess I
thumbs.
could, and
like
I have.
You could, and a lot of people do, but I won't.
Yeah. Like I just did Fashion Week sober. I know I can, but for me, this one just felt like, nope, I'm just going to send it. You know what I mean? Remember how on one of the last episodes I told you that I was slowly putting my feet in the water of deciding to get back with my ex?
You did tell me that. You know, it's so fun. I commented on your TikTok the other day of him. I didn't even know that was him. I thought that was a different one of your exes.
Who did you think it was?
That Josh guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he looked like him. So I was like, wait, I didn't even know you dated him.
No, it was Kevin.
Oh, so like Kevin. I love Kevin.
You commented like I didn't even know you dated him, and I was like, Brooke, we
I
just
know,
podcasted
no, I'm stupid,
about
but
this.
not that stupid.
So he flew out here and came to my Halloween party, and then we went back to Vegas together.
Are you dating him?
No.
Are you dating any of your exes?
No. But I missed him. And like I don't have faith in myself necessarily to go home for the holidays and not.
You know what? I get it.
Family, friends, and Lumi whole body deodorant. These are the things I'm thankful for this year. Why? Because the Lumi is a deodorant like no other. It was created by an OBGYN who discovered BO isn't just an underarm thing. It's an all over thing. She developed a pH optimized deodorant that's clinically proven to block odor everywhere. Not just your pits, but your privates, feet, and beyond. The best part? No matter where if you use it, Lumi is proven to keep working for up to 72 hours. If 3 days of odor control isn't something to be thankful for, I don't know what is. Special offer. New customers get $5 off Lumi starter pack with our exclusive code and link. Use code canceled at lumideodorant.com. LUMEDEODORANT.com. I personally love Lumi because I can take it everywhere and smell great no matter the circumstances. Whole body deodorant, the first of its kind. Lumi is seriously safe to use anywhere on your body. Pits, underboobs, thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks, vulvas, and feet. Created by an OBGYN who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. Clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. How? Unlike some deodorants that try to mask odor with a fragrance, Lumi is formulated and powered by mandelic acid to stop odor before it starts. More like a pre-odorant. Aluminum-free, baking soda-free, and paraben-free. pH balance for safe use below the belt. Clinically proven to control odor better than a shower with soap alone. 12 hours after a shower, the average person has an odor level of 6 out of 10. With Lumi, the average odor level is a 0 out of 10. Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lumi starter pack with code CANCELLED at LumiDeodorant.com. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you visit LumiDeodorant.com and use code CANCELLED. Thank you, Lumi, for making this holiday season smell a whole lot better.
I had a dream about one of my exes last night. I talked to Flaky Flake.
I've been seeing him be so famous.
He's being so famous
He's been all over my timeline being so famous.
I know.
What'd you guys say to each other?
I ran into his mom. So I was like, hey, ran into your mom.
There's nothing more
and honestly, it was like healing, because I don't know if you guys remember how Flaky Flake's situation ended off, but I was like, you're a fucking weirdo. See you later.
Yeah.
And I felt bad about it for a while because I really liked him. And so I was like, hey, ran into your mom. And he was like, oh my God, so good to hear from you. I hope we run into you soon. And he said I can beat his date to his premiere that's coming up, which is imaginary because there's a SAG strike going on. But I took it. I was like, thank you.
That's what's scary, is the feeling of any type of feeling of like the type of person you can pick up at all where you left off at. Like, I love that, like Chris and I could never pick up where we left off at. There's no,
you
none
don't
of that.
want to pick any of those pieces up.
Yeah,
baby.
at all that glass. Like, at all. But I'm saying like with Kevin, it's like there's no bad blood.
There wasn't really anything horrible that happened where it's like, wait, maybe
like we had our little Red Rock sitch, but like
in.
We got over it. I felt like we were both in the wrong, and like the only thing that keeps us from being together is long distance. So when we're together, it's like we just act like we're dating, and then we just go home, and then we're like, wait, you know.
Ugh, that's the worst.
I had to,
or the best, depending on who's asking.
Another thing I just have to vent about that's so insane.
Oh, I'm scared.
Is I made that TikTok about Jet Guy. And we've talked about Jet Guy on the podcast.
Yeah, wait, so does he know how often we talk about him? Like, we had a whole...
One thing that's weird is I attract 2 kinds of guys, right? Where like certain ones will like bring it up and be like, you talk about me on the podcast, or like I saw this clip of you talking about whatever on the podcast. And then other guys that I know because I hear through the grapevine that they watch the podcast, or I've talked about them way too much and I just know the like effects of that, like they're getting messages or like whatever, like I know they see it, but they just act completely oblivious.
But he knows.
I know he knows. I'm friends with his sister, I'm friends with his friends. I know he knows.
I think he loves it.
But just we've never talked about it.
The first time we ever talked about him, he posted immediately.
Yeah.
Like, he knows.
But I made that one TikTok about how he like booked me the jet and we were like supposed to go on the date. And then after that, I kind of got in my own head because I was like, he's 21. I'm not.
And it ends there, honestly.
That's literally
that's a full sentence.
Like, I'm dolce'd out. He's
you
21.
Are dolce'd the fuck out.
I don't need all that, right? But everyone thought from my TikTok that I was like dating him. Like,
yeah, we fucked up though, because we kept saying like she's dating this guy, but it's like no, she's going on dates with this guy the same way I'm going on dates with.
Exactly though, and then like we haven't gone on a date since. We like made out, but like there was, I don't know. I'm dolce'd out of that one. I think he is too. I went to Vegas. I brought his sister.
Oh no, I wonder who he is.
Right. He was supposed to go too and then bailed like in the final like hour.
Well, so thank God. How would you have had your ex?
Well, I was just going to play a fun game of
juggling.
Yeah, which you know I love to do.
You're so versatile.
But
what am I doing?
Yeah, and then he bailed. So then I was like, oh, perfect. Like,
he bailed? Who does he think he is?
Yeah, he bailed last minute on the Vegas trip. And I was like, wait, here I am still booking my own jets. Like, whatever. He's just 21. And I'm ending that and want to clarify that I'm not,
21 is too young
Absolutely.
for you. 22 is too young for me.
Absolutely. Speaking of juggling acts, I invited all of my boyfriends to my Halloween party.
Yeah, what was it like? Did any of them interact?
All of them interacted.
Oh, that's... Do you think they knew, or do you think they have a group
everyone
chat?
Knew. Like, I could just tell there was like a mental consensus of these men knowing like I'm competing for her time. I was matching with Josh McGregor. Like, we had a matching costume. So like
that is so
like that was planned. It wasn't like he showed up.
That's like the funniest thing to do, knowing damn well that you have 8 other boyfriends coming, is matching with a man that you are currently hooking up with.
Talking to, not, we haven't hooked up in a while, but
BFFR.
So we matched then Kevin flew out here and like we went together and like whatever. Chris came.
You went with somebody you weren't matching and matched with somebody else. You are already just, God, you are so far ahead of the game.
Jail time, but like so fun. So then, and then the homeowner was also matching me because I like was trying to like, you know what I mean? Like make him feel like the belle of the ball. And
honestly,
Chris came. Chris was just fucking with all of them.
What did Chris go as?
Didn't dress up once.
He didn't have to.
Yeah, exactly. Like just the Balenciaga full fits give.
The ski mask that he just wears to the grocery store.
Everywhere he goes. It's insane. And it's so funny because I think after everything, every time, as friends, but still, I just ended up like going to Chris's and like leaving with Chris.
And what do we say about that, audience?
I had something happen to me.
What happened to you when you went home with Chris? Does anything good ever happen when you go home with Chris?
This all goes back to that one podcast episode. Well, you know.
You guys, wait, what? No, come on, let me think. You can never be friends. Wait.
Well, that was at a time where I believe we can be friends, but it's like I can't expend my time to like watching someone else to like make sure they're being who I want them to be, like type of shit, you know? Mm-hmm. And I'd just been hanging out with Chris a lot, and I love to hang out with Chris still, but in certain settings, you know? Certain settings are okay. Our friendship is great now. Like I think it always will be, like from this point forward, because we both have gotten to the point where it's like literally I was like making out with Kevin all night, and he like we're not like jealous, like I know what he does, like we're friends and we're cool. But when I start to spend like too much time and in the wee hours and at the very Chris style events with all the friends, and that's when it's like, okay, you can't do that. And I had an experience at like an event with a bunch of Chris's friends and shit, and just a bunch of people I know in that like realm. And I'm not going to talk about this now. I'm not kidding. I might have to save it for like my book one day. Like I think it's that dark. I don't think it's like a podcast topic at all. It's like really dark and sad.
Oh.
I had an experience there that was so, it changed my whole life. This was like 5 days ago. It was the night I was Christina.
At least you looked amazing, but
I looked Gorgina, and I had a great night and a fun night.
A major like perspective shifter.
I think I saw a dark side that I haven't, not of a him or of a person, a dark side of.
Yeah, that's honestly important.
Of LA and of just a bunch of shit. And I saw a part of myself that I feel like I hadn't seen since like 2019, like just a bunch of really accidental dark shit happened to me. Like accidentally some dark ass shit happened to me. It shifted my whole perspective. It made every dark thought I've been having for the last 6 months like come forward. Like I think I needed it.
I
think that over the past 6 months I've been having all these thoughts of like reasons why I might necessarily not be the happiest. When I'm sober, like, why am I so bored and miserable? Like, I want to move to New York. Like, I want to move away. Like, just all these, like, bullet pointed, like, small just intricacies of my brain that are dark that I'm kind of just navigating through life with normally, just with a normal brain and normal thoughts and normal everything. And I feel like they all came forward. And I had this, like, ego death. I cried for 18 hours straight. Like, actually 18. I've never cried like that in my entire life. Like,
I'm like, you know, I have.
Like, for sure. Like, where I was just like, I have to change so many things.
Okay, so maybe it was like a blessing in disguise, but still just like.
It was so scary that I wish it never happened, but I wouldn't change the effects of it happening. Mm-hmm. Like, I have, like. It just made me look at everything. Like, I had the most fun Halloween week literally ever. Like, and I had a great time. But like, I know this is no longer my life. And so many of the things I do.
I feel like you just like feel unfulfilled.
Like, nothing is just exciting in this lifestyle any longer because I've done it all and I've seen it all. And even work wise, like I'm just doing so many things that I feel like I have to do to like be Tana, to like
it's the
maintain an image
trajectory of like a celebrity. It's like it literally always happens exactly like that. It's all exciting and like, you know, glittery and gold, and then you realize like it's nothing special, and all of a sudden you start feeling like super jaded.
And you realize like there are these certain 5 people or these certain 5 things that do fulfill me, but like everything else is just like noise. And like, again, like I've just been doing this for 10 years. Like there's just nothing I can't see or do that hasn't already happened. And like, I need to do more things that are new that fulfill and excite me.
Yeah, maybe you're just in like a major rut. I feel like
that's how I feel.
Like, it doesn't even you don't have to outsource so far as to like move cities. I feel like you could just literally completely like from here shift your life into something different. Like,
I don't think I ever could, and I think that's the problem here.
Really?
I think I would always see this like the same people. I would always be like
it's
dragged
so
into the
crazy,
same
though,
world.
because there are like fucking like alternate realities, like right where we are right now. Like people experience LA completely differently. Like some people explain LA in a way that's like, I do not live that. I do not see that. Those are not the people I'm around. It's so strange.
And I agree with that, but I think that I am too far deep as Tana in this world to, and maybe I don't even necessarily mean
it's not like you
my
all of a
own.
sudden like pop out on the west side and like just be like a
Like, and I don't even necessarily mean like I mean other people's perception of me here as well. Like it's just always going to be a certain way because of the life I've built here for 10 years. You know what I mean? And I just feel like I need like new stimuli, like somewhere else. I need new things to stimulate me and motivate me. And I said this in the last episode, a lot of this came forward. Like I'm so motherfucking dolce'd out on like the drama.
the fact that we're just unironically saying that every like we're in a completely serious conversation. You're dolce'd out.
I'm dolce'd the fuck out of drama. Like everyone's just drama and fighting and group chats and everyone's just always fighting. No, it's fine. Like I
can't help it.
It's everyone else's. That can be their journey. Or like even just I have friends call me like, you'll never believe what just happened at this, and I'm like, I want to shatter this phone. Yeah, like I want new conversations. I want new.
I get that though. I feel like that's kind of where some of my like frustration. It's like not frustration, but I feel like I've been kind of resentful of that. Like, you know, when you get so exhausted of like the way your life is and stuff that you start blaming everybody else for it. I feel like that's part of the reason I've been like lashing out on people so hard is like when shit happens in the group chat and when like things happen in the friend group, I'm like, God, I hate this. Like,
yeah.
And I just freak out and I get so mad.
I can't be mad at like.
It's my own fault.
I can't be mad at other people because they still want to live a life I no longer want to live.
Yeah, but that's what I think the problem is. I get like so mad at myself because I'm like, what am I doing? And it's not like it's nothing against our friends or anything, but I'm also older than like the rest of the group, so I feel like a certain sense of like, what the fuck am I doing?
I also think it's like certain people possess more self-awareness than other people, more crippling self-awareness. I don't even necessarily mean like you're just more self-aware than other people, but some people, crippling self-awareness is almost like, while it can be your superpower, it can also be your worst enemy. You know what I mean? Just being so aware of like how awful certain things are and certain situations are. Like, you know, like you might see like other people doing things like, oh yeah, this is so annoying, but you're like, what the fuck are you know?
Yeah.
I know that at one point in my life I'll be like married and have kids and there'll be battles there, you know, and drama there and hardships there and fighting and shit like that. But right now I'm just like, I don't have the capacity for any like negativity or drama. Like, and it's like, I need like peace. I need to feel peace. And again, that's always how I feel at the end of October because it's the least peaceful month of my year. So I really get like that. But like,
yeah, it's just a year in general too. Like you just lived fucking 10 months straight. I feel like it, and not that it like resets at the new year, but it is just like.
I also feel like I've never had a year like this year where like every year I feel like for the my whole life really, like up until now, like yes, there's been hardships throughout the year, but it felt like a roller coaster, and it felt like there'd be certain moments where I'd have hardships and I'd learn, and then I'd just be coasting and like enjoying things, and then like hardships and I'd learn, coasting and enjoying things, like whatever. And I feel like this year, like every single day I've not stopped learning shit about like myself and the way I want to live, and like all these hard lessons, hard pills to swallow, like hard, like I just feel like I haven't had like a break from that feeling this whole year.
Yeah, you're like, gotta take a second and process. Like, I don't know, I get like that where it's like, okay, that's enough. I like, give me a second to think about it.
And that's exactly how I felt at this like dark, bad moment that I keep referencing, is I feel like all of those lessons and feelings I've felt and thoughts I've thought and things I've learned this year, like all came to a head, and I was like, whoa, like I'll kill myself if I don't, you know.
Change. What do you have any idea like what the change is? I know you said you might want to like go somewhere for a sec.
I think that right now, like my move is sending myself out of LA for like 2 weeks and not working. Like turning like
that, I feel like that's gonna be the, sorry to cut you off, but like the major thing is like you haven't had a second, like because even when you like, you know, are just at home all day, like I feel like you always feel like you have to be doing something.
And I was talking about this at length with Chris, is that I live with such a crippling guilt of if I'm not doing enough. Like, even if I sleep all day, the second I'm awake, I'm like, okay, I have 100 unread texts. I need to answer every single one and put all of this on the books. And you know what I mean? Book all this stuff out. I need my whole month booked out. I need to feel like I'm doing enough in the press to maintain my career. I feel like I need to be, you know what I mean? Like making sure this podcast is doing absolutely everything it can on all realms, I guess. You know, I need to put like everything into everything I'm doing, and I feel this no matter how good I'm doing. Like I can walk off a sold out tour and I'm like, that wasn't enough. Like why do you?
Yeah, but I feel like 2 weeks like is not gonna affect your momentum at all. Like 2 weeks, like if anything, it might help you because I feel like you'll have like a new energy and be more.
Yeah, it's not momentum. It's like, and I think this comes from my like childhood and having no money. Like even just the beginning of my career and the beginning of all of this, I like have always felt this like fire under me. Like I can't just like sit still and do nothing, or like not make money, or not work hard, or like not be constantly trying to level up the shit I'm doing career wise, because I always felt like
you are so good about that.
Like I had no money and like
I wonder if that is what it is though, because I feel like that it affected me exactly the opposite way. I almost feel like I place not enough value in money, and I'm working on being better about that.
Money, it's like I feel like a failure every way.
I feel like you probably also, you've been so successful that it's probably like a high that you get off of like every time you like accomplish something. I think maybe I haven't like quite accomplished enough for me to start like getting high on that. But although
that's fair,
I am starting, I feel like now to be like, oh my God, like I did this and it's so good, it makes me want to keep doing it.
But that's awesome. That's like, I'm like, I did this, but I'm still like, I'll always just like live with this like insane guilt that I'm not doing enough, and it's not enough, and that it's not like, you know, but it's only a battle I have with me and myself that I never like vocalize. Like I haven't had 5 days off of like literally like actually off of my life and being Tana in as long as I can. Like,
yeah, you need to do that.
Like I need to turn my phone off.
You need to disappear.
I need to turn my phone off. I don't want to hear about it. And that's the thing too, is it's like, I also just came to this realization where it's like, I take on everyone's problems. And I know that I'm that type of person.
It's not that. It's like, you kind of like are the, I don't know. You're like our person. Like I feel like you're like our son.
That's really nice. But like, I've always been that friend. My friends are my family. Like I want to give everyone the best advice. I want to be there for everyone. I want to help everyone in every way I can, but not even just my immediate circle. It's like, then there's like the second immediate circle where everyone feels that way. And it's like, I feel like when anyone is like, oh my God, like I'm going through so much, I'm so depressed, they come to me.
It's just draining though for your energy. It's like,
oh my God, I'm going through this in my career. How do I handle it? I know you've been through it. Like, it's just, or it's just the people where it's like, I feel like I've done everything to get you to where you are. Like I've been every rung of your ladder to get you to the top of your career, but you don't give a fuck if I'm having a bad day. You expect me to be there and turn it on. Like everyone, just like, you know? And it's not that I feel like used up. I know people love me, but it's like I'm dolce'd out.
You're dolce'd the fuck out, dude.
And I finally, like, this event made me really hit the catalyst of all these emotions and realize and learn that.
Well, I like it. I like the idea of you just like literally going off the grid, taking 2 weeks, 3 weeks to just fuck around. Like go somewhere and don't say anything. Maybe bring like Paige or something so you don't die.
Yeah. And it's also like real companies, because that's what it is. Like a real company takes like a holiday. Like I don't. Like I never had like, and it's just like they're like, I'm out of office until January 1st. Like I want to be out of fucking office. Like,
well, you need to start treating it like a real job. Like I wish. What sucks too is like you can't. Not, it doesn't suck. It's a privilege, but like you can't just like clock in, clock out. It's not like at fucking 5 p.m. every day you're just done for the day. It's like the way your job works. It's just not like that.
And so much of it is like random. Like I'll randomly get a text for like a huge opportunity, and then it's like, can you be there tomorrow? Can you do this? Can you do that? You know, like even just now I'm trying to book
but people do get burnout. Like that's the problem. It's like you really do. You don't realize, because it's like it seems like one little bit at a time, but like all of a sudden you're like, okay, I just took on 12 little things, and now all of a sudden I lost.
And I've been burnt out before, and this one just feels different. Like it feels like different emotions towards the burnout, but like, Yeah, and I don't know how to do it. I think I'll still feel guilty when I take the time off. Just now, I'm trying to book my 2 weeks away, and I got offered 2 of the biggest magazine covers of my life. And I'm
Huge
like,
slay.
But like,
you know what I was just saying with the FOMO, it's like those opportunities will come again. Like it's not going to be like the last.
I feel you. I think Hollywood just conditions you to believe, like, especially as a woman, like with your youth.
Yeah,
and like,
you've got like a little bit of a shelf life going on, but you're not a model. You're a personality.
Thank God, I hope they love me when I'm
plenty of years left
wrinkled.
on you, so long as you don't
Croak.
do anything.
I woke up the other day, not kidding you, to 40 people sending me reels, TikToks, texts, everything. The Panera charged lemonade killed someone.
Oh my God, and I believe it.
The Panera charged lemonade killed someone.
That's one of those situations like the lime scooter thing. Like, if I die that way, you better lie. Lie.
So there's 400 milligrams of caffeine in a regular size Panera charged lemonade.
The problem is nobody knows the like the
and they put it on the labels and shit.
Measurement. Well, it's like if someone's like asked me what I am in centimeters. Like, I don't fucking know how many centimeters I am.
100%.
You can tell me how much caffeine is in something. I don't fucking know what that means.
And just the same thing as like you drink a can of Red Bull and you know exactly how much like that's gonna do to you. Whereas at Panera, you're just filling up that cup and it doesn't taste like an energy drink, whatever. I was like addicted to these. You know, me, you, and BB had a day where we all went like thrifting.
I remember that day so vividly, and they did tell me when I got it. They were like, just so you know, like, that's a lot of caffeine. I'm like, oh please. And then I was
so
cracked the fuck out.
I drink so much caffeine. I remember all 3 of us were in the car and we were like, are we gonna die right now? Like, it's like BB was like gonna throw up out the window, or it was you. Like, we all thought we were literally gonna die. And then the difference in the 3 of us is y'all never drink them again. I drink them every day for the next 3 months.
Yeah. Although I am a caffeine fiend. I drink like 3 Celsius a day.
Yeah.
Like, and it's honestly starting to make me sick. So like,
I'll never forget this day I had at Wyndham where I was drinking them, the charged lemonade, and I'd also taken my Adderall that day. And I drank like a giant charged lemonade. And I Google 2 of them, I think. And I Google the caffeine intake like that you can have for the day, and it's like 400 milligrams. And I'd had like 800 in an Adderall. And I was like laying on the floor and I was like, do I go to the hospital right now? And then I stopped drinking the charged lemonades because I was like,
that is scary. But it is crazy. Like, people die like from less.
Yes. But like, I think as much as I love the occasional Fuji apple charged lemonade, take them off the shelf, Panera.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it really weird? Like, what came over them where
so
they were
addicted,
like, I have to get, but it's like, I feel like they would still be good if they didn't have crack in them. Like, why'd they even have to put the crack in it?
I've been sworn off Panera charged lemonade, and I think everyone should be, but I just can't believe it fucking killed someone.
Well, you know what? I hope they get their money. I hope.
Oh my God. Not only do I want broccoli cheddar soup in a bread bowl for life,
absolutely.
I want billions.
If you could wait, did you see what's going on with the new McDonald's terms and conditions?
No. Hilarious that you have seen that though.
On the McDonald's app, it now like they have you accept new terms and conditions, and if you accept,
okay, why?
Well, because they keep getting sued.
For what?
Various different reasons. Like, I mean, I'm sure it's happened like for a bunch of different. I remember
like the Super Size Me energy.
No, do you remember that documentary about that girl? Well, this is like so unrelated, but like that girl who had the coffee and they spilled it in her lap and she got 3rd-degree burns and she sued them for like millions.
Yes. Remember the finger in the Wendy's chili?
Yeah, was that real? Like the thumb?
I don't know. My parents were so wildly afraid of that. I'll never forget it. I was like, again, pay the electric bill.
But anyway, if you accept the terms and conditions, like most people don't read them. No one fucking reads the terms and conditions.
You're signing a contract essentially.
Yeah, basically they are not liable for anything, like anything.
Yeah.
You can't sue them essentially for anything, and you can't like you waive your right to a jury or like an actual trial, and you have to just like there's like one person who can
decide.
Yeah. And so,
but like, why are we ordering McDonald's through the app and signing the terms and conditions? Like, why don't we just go through the drive-through so that just in case we need to hit that lawsuit?
Because we're in a tech era.
That's true. We are in our.
But
tech
that is
era.
weird. Like, why is any fast food chain making me accept terms and conditions for anything
at all? I mean, but that's like burying me with a Big Mac. You know?
Do you like Arby's?
It's actually funny because I just after my mom graduated, all she wanted was an Arby's milkshake. She apparently loves them, and Dad loves the beef and cheddar. So I ordered them Arby's. I was like, let me get you a meal since you're always cooking me a meal. And I thought about you.
It's so fire. And you know what? I don't know why I'm riding so hard for Arby's. I haven't had it in years. I haven't had it since I was in high school.
Roast beef really does just remind me of pussy. Girl, I eat pussy.
I'm just saying, like,
Do you know what I mean?
okay.
You can check out my sitch if you want. I think it gives like
I feel like
turkey.
Force baked ham. Fish fillet.
Isabella was dating this like rich ass guy who would like every day order a fish fillet and then order caviar and then put the caviar on the McDonald's fish fillet.
Yeah, that's an ick for sure.
Like super. Like just one or the other, please. Okay. We were just talking about how the times are changing. You know, we're in a tech era, whatever, right? The tech era has nothing to do with it. I was just trying to segue, but it wasn't working.
You suck.
Can I tell you something that used to happen? Something that used to happen when I was in high school. Mm-hmm. And there's a good chance this also, your school used to do this. And I'm praying they did so we can really like dive into it. And I don't remember the exact name of it, but I saw a TikTok about it the other day. And again, like my entire childhood is suppressed. So this was the first time I thought about it since it ever happened. I was like, oh my God, that happened to me, right? My school used to do this thing. And I don't remember the name of it. It was called like Jaws of Life or like Fight for Life or like something like that. Okay. Right. And it was because drunk driving was like so.
Yes.
Did your school fucking do this?
Yes, but it wasn't. Oh God, what was it called?
Can we?
Are you talking about when they have the helicopter come in and someone has to be a fake dead person?
But can we just tell the class really quick for people who don't know this? And you correct me of what happened at your school. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So this program would come in to stop. Their goal was to stop DUIs or to at least instill kind of a fear and awareness in the youth about driving drunk. And they would come into the school, and the first thing they would do is they would hand select like 7 or 8 students from the school, and they would really ensure to pick people like one popular kid, one band kid, one athlete, one like cheerleader, one nerdy girl, one, you know what I mean? Fucking loser. No, I'm just kidding.
It was so funny that you gave everybody like a sport or a thing, and then one person was just a fucking loser.
I'm kidding. My school was really bad about that. Like really segregated like that. Like super like popular, non-popular, and it sucked.
Really?
Like I hated that. I was always like friends with everyone, but just they would pick 7 or 8 very different people, and they would take their phones, and then they would make them sign like a thing, like saying like, I will not communicate with anyone at all throughout any, like nothing, like not even the people in my house, whatever. The parents would have to come in and write an obituary for their kid. Like my son died on drunk driving, like like it essentially like my kid is dead, and their parents would have to like sign away that like everyone's gonna have the idea that their kid is dead. And then they would go put the like 7 kids in like a hotel or like make sure they were just to where no one could contact them like at all, right? And then they'd put their tombstones in the front of the school, and everyone would have to leave flowers and write letters like they were dead. And like you really felt like your friends were dead. Like it was like they made it like so real, and they would like be warning taping off the school and like bringing in like close friends of the friends for interviews and like doing all these things that would lead up to this event where in front of the school one day, in front of the tombstones, they would. And it was such a big budget, like production. Like it was like, could the school lunches be better? I don't know why they spent so much money on this. But like where they would simulate a fake car crash, and they would bring in all the students, and they would cover them in prosthetics with gore and blood like everywhere, like bad. And then they'd have helicopters in and fly them out in body bags, and then like bring them back in caskets, and you'd have to have a funeral at the school like for your friends. And everyone would be sobbing.
It's
and like
crazy. It's a universal experience, and they've been doing it for years, because I was actually just watching a show where they did it, and the show came out like 15 years ago.
Did this happen in your high school? No. I think it only happened. Did you go to a big high school? Mm-hmm. I think it only happens at like big high schools, because whenever I talk to people who like went to like a smaller like this,
they did not have a budget for that at like anyone's small school, but like it was like a huge thing out in the stadium. Like it was big. I loved it,
and
I didn't love it, but it was like, but it was cool. It was like, it's like a field trip. I was like, oh my God.
I never felt like it was cool.
Oh,
it's pretty weird.
Like I was like, this is like, and
well, ours wasn't as extreme. Like no one, we didn't actually think that people were dead. They just like brought us out there as if it was like like a lockdown or something. We all went out into the field, and then they did the helicopters and the crash and the blood and all that.
But like the tombstones, the obituaries.
I think they were doing. I think honestly, someone at your school was
Vegas.
probably like, let's really drag this one out. And honestly, you probably had more. Although
Vegas
is a
is
pretty
like
big drunk driving place too.
I feel like it never stopped people, at least the people I knew and the people I went to school with. Like it was just this weird big thing where your friends were dead, and it traumatized everyone for like a week, and it was like super sad.
I don't know if they could have gotten away with that at my school. So many people died at my high school that it was like really alarming. Tana, in my graduating class alone, we had a kid who died sledding. Okay, sledding, hit a tree, died. My friend Ridge died. He had leukemia, and he was like fighting for so long, and we were all like, it was a huge thing, like a community-wide thing with our school and everything. He beat it, dies like 6 months later of a heart attack. Damn. Didn't even die of cancer. Another kid got struck by lightning. I am not fucking kidding, Tana. Another kid, it was...
It's one of my biggest fears, weirdly.
No, this one's the craziest one. A kid, one of them was in my grade. It was a boy and a girl. I can't remember which one was in my grade. One was a grade below us. Their dad was diagnosed with like a brain tumor, and he, like, it was like this, like a neuro whatever, I don't know, drove him crazy. Okay,
Drove the dad crazy or the kid?
yes.
Yeah.
Shot his wife, hit both of his kids, put them in the car, drove out into the middle of the desert, drank gasoline, lit the whole car on fire. Oh. Okay, so many. Oh, and then day before the last day of school, a kid brought a gun to school and shot himself with all of us there.
How does your school have a budget?
What? Fuck? No, it was so many people died. Like our graduation was so eerie because it was like that we would do like moment of silences for everyone who in our class who died.
No one talked for an hour.
And it was a huge thing. You can look it up, like Aztec straw. It was like such a huge thing at my high school where it was like, what the fuck is going on? Like
that's
everybody
actually, I have
is
chills
dying.
on my literal face. That's crazy.
It was so crazy. Like, oh my God. And we like obviously couldn't go to school for a second after like this thing happened. And we were on, like, it was like a whole thing. But yeah, I don't think they would have gotten away with the whole tombstone thing because it was like we've seen enough.
Yeah, that's fair. We didn't have a lot of deaths at my high school. We had like one or two, and then everyone just died after high school.
Really?
Like that, like so many. That's what I think. What sucks about Vegas is like so many drug overdoses and like fucked
that
up
is
shit like
Arizona's like that a lot too. More like, I think Vegas has to be the worst.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was dark.
And I have so many more morbid topics. I don't know what's going on.
I have a question for you, and I honestly think I already know your answer.
Okay.
Because I feel like you don't really care about this stuff as much, but I have this like thing that I'm trying to work through right now, which is my like delusional self-importance.
No, you.
No. Well, this is what makes me sad. It's happened to me twice now. It just happened like this past weekend.
I'm kidding. You are important.
But like I understand where I'm wrong in this situation, but I'm still like, it still hurts me. Like I have had now 2 of my like longest best friends get married, and I'm not invited to either.
Why?
I wasn't invited to either of their weddings. And like, it makes perfect sense because I haven't seen these people, in years, and I don't talk to them and stuff. But in my head, I'm like, they were at my wedding. You know what I mean? So when I'm not
they were
invited,
at your what?
No, I'm saying like they would be at my wedding.
Okay, I was like, whoa.
Both of these people were like, their families were so good to me that it was like, I just loved their families so much. And since I don't have like a big family, I've always imagined my wedding being like all my friends' little families there.
Yeah.
And so they've always been at, like, both of these families have always been at my wedding. Neither of them invited me. One of them just got married this last weekend, and I was like, oh my God, now another family bites the dust.
It's okay. We'll find new ones. We'll find you new ones.
But you know what I mean? Like, and I know the weddings are so personal too. And like, I know
Are
it's
they
hard
intimate
for people like
weddings.
No. I get it. I get it completely from their end because it's like, oh, I haven't even seen you or talked to you in years. But I think because I place so much value in like the family of it all, because I'm like, oh, these are my little families.
So do I. I get it. I think a lot of that feeling comes from like having no family and placing so much of your family value into what isn't technically family. You know what I mean? I have a few like friends, families like that where they took so much care of me as kids and we've fallen out over time.
Yeah, but it's like, well, in my head, I'm like, oh, well, they're family. You don't have to talk to them every year. But they got married and I'm like, oh my God.
The wedding
and now I
of it
can't
all,
invite them to my wedding because that's embarrassing.
Yeah, you cannot invite them to your honestly, fuck them. Honestly, fuck them.
I know, but it's like,
No, fuck them.
I know that I'm wrong in this situation because I know that if I were to
don't
get
think you're
wedding,
wrong.
or if I were to get married, like, well, it's like if someone doesn't want you at their wedding, they don't want you at their fucking wedding.
Yeah, but I completely validate the way you feel. I think I would feel the same way.
But I was like, and the worst part about it is we have a group chat. Like, it was like me and my 3 best friends, like my 3 girl best friends in a group chat that we had all of high school. And all of them were invited except for me. They're texting in the group chat pictures of it. I'm like, y'all knew I wasn't invited. What the fuck are you texting in the group chat for? You're there. Like, why do you even have to text?
When I go home for the holidays, I have a lot of friends that'll like do shit like that, and then they'll be like, I didn't invite you to the baby shower because like you're so famous now. Like, just the way like hometown people like will say shit to you. Like, do you think it's maybe something of that sort, that they think your life is just so like ostracized, like far away from their life?
Yeah, I get a lot of that, especially with randomly my college friends. They'll be like, oh, we didn't think you would want to come. It's like, of course,
it's like, that was my childhood. Of course I want to come. Yeah.
That's like upset me too. Like,
that just happens though. I feel like even just moving to LA.
It did. Like so much changed. I left obviously a year before I was done. So like that, my senior year, all my best closest friends who I like was, you know, like I was so close with all my friends in college. They had a whole year without me, like where I was just gone. So they like went on and forgot about me. So they would do stuff like my college roommate, the entire time I was in college, she was, it's still to this day, she's like my favorite person alive. She got married, and like I went to her wedding and I was like, does she even fucking like me? Like,
it's just people just like, I think the second you like set foot moving here, people just view you even like Ari. Like, Ari's not in like the scene. Like, we talk about him a lot and he's like a part of like a character of kind of our content, but he doesn't make content. He's not trying to be famous. Like, he's just living in LA. You know what I mean? And I feel like people from his previous life in Vegas even treat him like that. Like, they're like, oh, I didn't think you'd want to come. Like, you're all famous now in LA. But it's
I had to start begging people. I was like, listen, I want to come. Like,
I'm the same way.
I'm like, and I'm so careful about not like denying an invite now, because I'm like, I don't want them to stop inviting me, because I want to always be like, go back to my college friends things.
Yeah.
But, like,
I feel like all of the weddings I've been, unless it's like someone in this space, well, like Ashley Hunter's best friend. Like, I remember she was like, are you sure you want to come? Miranda even, like, are you sure you want?
What do these people think we're doing? Like,
everything, ever,
but like
all at once.
It upsets me because I'm like, what? Like, I don't understand. I really just.
I feel like people just think
like,
I'm too busy for their weddings, and I'm like, I love a wedding. So it's like, you know.
Yeah. Well, I understand. You know what I mean?
But like, we live like, you know.
But even
we're sitting on this couch. Like, they probably like see it and they're like, you know.
I get it. Oh, I remember at that wedding though, it was my best fucking friend. Okay. She's my best friend. I would literally do anything for her. And I set her and her husband up. Okay. Tell me why. I can't remember if I told this story or not.
You told me this a little bit in life.
I told you how like pissed I was about it. I don't think I ever told this story on the podcast, but you guys, this was like such a major thing for me. This dumb who I was so close with in college. I looked up to her so much. I actually do think maybe I haven't told this story, but she made me, I sat down at that wedding and she literally goes, are you kidding? I go, what? She goes, don't you think it makes a little more sense for me to sit a little closer to her than you? And I go, you mean my roommate of fucking 4 years who's marrying a man I literally set her up with? No, it doesn't make any more fucking sense, you stupid fucking rat.
And wasn't she like so rude to you the rest of the trip?
No, prior to that, she had said something. I was wearing like an outfit. I was wearing like a 2-piece set, and I was like, oh, I was like, I feel weird in this outfit because it was like kind of revealing, and it was like nothing wedding related, but we were just all like there already. Yeah, you know. And I said something, and she was like, oh, you feel weird in the outfit? I go, what's that supposed to mean? She goes, your literal job is to post your tits online. I go, wait, that's actually not my job at all.
People tell me that every day,
but my job is really not that.
It's my job that
this is my job. Like, and so I got so, and she said it in front of everybody, and it was like just comment after comment that was just like that, where I was like, wait, what? And it pissed me off so.
You want me to hit her?
God.
Let me know.
It sucks though, because like she was someone I've always like just looked up to so much, because she's so fucking smart and like just good at everything.
But you that it just smart and good at everything and a horrible fucking person.
But it just like, oh my God, and embarrassing me in front of everybody when I already like felt uncomfortable. Like, I'm at my own fucking like longest best friend's wedding, and you're making me feel out of place. Like, it was the weirdest, strangest situation, and she apologized and stuff, but I still think about it constantly. And every single time we get to post for anything for this podcast, I think of her, because she was so dismissive about my job. Like, oh, you just post your tits online. That I'm like, yeah, fuck you.
100. I think people just like she probably was like wanted to be married, was jealous and sad to be there alone and single, like, and then seeing you thriving and then still coming and accepted by the friends.
It's just like I would never,
definitely was just threatened.
I can't imagine someone sitting down and being like, why would you sit there at a fucking wedding? Like, oh, you can't see her?
Yeah.
Like, she's my, and it's not some stranger. She's been my best friend for years.
And this also just isn't like Adele live in Vegas. Like, it's not like there's like, I need row 1A. Like, it's like, as long as you're there, you're there.
I didn't even fucking put my stuff down. Someone said, oh, sit next to me. So I was like, oh yeah, I will. And she was like, absolutely not. I just started hysterically sobbing too. And I had to leave. I left the wedding because I was like, I don't want to make this day about me, but I was like hysterical.
You say that, and that's like why I'm so cautious at weddings, especially of like ensuring there's no drama. Even if I see other drama, I'm like, everyone, let's have a good time. Or
it
like,
is so common for people to start like, because everyone takes everything so personally, and I was like,
and they make shit about themselves though, and it's like, dude, this is the one damn day we're celebrating these two people in love. Like, just shut the fuck up and like show face.
Yeah, but that's why I had to leave, because I was making it about me, because I was like, all of a sudden I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Well, because someone was a and was also making it about her own drama.
Yeah, because like, it was a destination wedding. I was already all the way fucking like across the world for this stupid, not stupid wedding, but I was across the world for this wedding. I was included in nothing but the wedding, so I was like already like, oh, like this is sad.
Yeah,
I'm like not in this group anymore. And then she was like, yeah, you can't sit there. I was like, you fucking.
And you're sitting there with the emotion of like, I have a different life now and I'm not fully in this group. So I already feel a little sad and outsider.
Half and then of it was like what I already felt about myself.
Yeah.
So I was like already insecure about those things.
Awful.
And completely reinforced all of it. Like to my face in front of everybody. I was like, I hate your
just
guts.
Awful.
Yep.
Absolute awful.
And fuck you. And
do you remember the in LA?
Sure do.
Again, this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Just I've seen absolutely everything in Los Angeles, and I made this whole list of a bunch of things like this that I could do a whole podcast about. But this one was so crazy to me, right? So we would always go to this mansion in LA. One of the biggest houses
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Best view in all of LA.
Like biggest lot of house, like most stunning house. Like I know a crazy celebrity used to live there. I can't remember which one, but it was like crazy. And then this company took over the house, right? And they would always throw parties there and let people throw parties there. But on top of that, they would run a whole business under the same name that we're bleeping out of this house, where they were a podcast agency. Amari and Tara's World and Bad Zach had a podcast under their agency. A bunch of people I know did, like, and would go there to like shoot and work and whatever. But there was always the owner of the house, right? And we'll call him Bill. And Bill was probably almost 60, maybe like 50 actually. And he would be at every single party. This is where 24 Karat Golden's birthday was, like the night I ruined my life, the word that I hate people, I love them night, like the worst night of my life. Like, and he would always be there at every party. And he would be like, he would make friends with all the like stars and different people that would come through. And like everyone was just like, Bill, like, but he was just like the weird old guy that was there and like owned the company and also lived in the house and whatever.
What happened to him?
And like, you don't know this. Oh, do you not know this story? Like how the house ended?
So wasn't he like stealing money from people?
So much worse than that though. Oh. So like this went on for probably 2 years. Like I probably attended hundreds of events and parties and work things there and knew this guy. And he was always very weird. Like even in my like drug eras was always like, do you want coke? Do you want this? Do you want that? Like even that like night of like the 24 Karat Golden night, like a lot of the shit that I intook, I think kind of directly came from Bill. And just like, why are you 50? And he had kids, but they would never be there. And just no one understood. It was like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you giving drugs to all these young Hollywood people? Always. Mm-hmm. Like, name a celebrity. They've been there. They've done drugs with Bill. Like, it was like that, you know? But then in the daytime, people would just come and do their podcasts and their work out of there, which was such a weird, like, combination of things. I've never seen anything like that really in LA. Like, and then one day, there was a party there one night. And, like, helicopters and like SWAT show up, and it's like they were just writing it off like, oh, they shut down a party, like everyone go, like the police are here, like whatever. Helicopters and SWAT don't like,
SWAT doesn't come to parties.
SWAT usually doesn't shut down a house party, absolutely, literally ever, you know what I mean? And then I just started hearing all these rumors through the grapevine about Bill and like the things he was doing. And then it was like, okay, he embezzled all this money and stole all this money to create the podcast network that everyone was under, and he did all these illegal things. So
why
he's
would
like,
you embezzle money just to make a podcast network?
at all, it's so embarrassing. Do so many other things. Well, there. Not me embezzling.
Yeah,
horrible sentence. I've known other people who have done that. Anyways, and so, but then the rumors just kept getting like weirder. It was like, oh wait, like I think he's like getting caught up for some more shit because now he's like not there anymore and he lived there. And then like we'd go there and he'd just be nowhere to be found and he wouldn't be there, but like parties and shit would still be happening and like whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then we hear a rumor one day that he got caught up with some like child shit, like some weird, really fucked up shit, right?
I hate when that happens.
And I don't know what had happened. Like a couple days go by and they're throwing a party there and people just kept going because I don't think people were associating like, him. A lot of people didn't know that like the house was his or like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
whatever. He built a bunker under the house. And eventually one day the SWAT came and the police came and they like found him in the bunker under the house and he got charged with all this shit. He's in jail for life. Like that was an era of our life. Like going to that house, like knowing this man.
Oh my God.
He built a bunker.
To hide?
To hide.
Not a very good hiding place.
Under your own house.
Like they what do you mean?
They found him.
SWAT looks in the bunker. Like what the fuck do you mean you built a bunker?
And so many people went crazy there. Like I won't say his name, but like an artist I knew, like they gave him like a bunch of like acid and like ayahuasca and weird shit there.
I believe it. One
you
time
know
I
what I'm
couldn't
talking
feel my
about?
legs there.
Not who's still fine. Not but
I don't know either. Oh my God.
and he went insane and
he went
was,
insane and he started like
saying
posting
all
his
these,
own balls on the internet
and
stuff.
saying like fucked up shit online, like we're like, and was
Oh
the
my
nicest person I've
God.
ever met. Like they drugged him there, like all this weird, like
oh my God, that was horrible.
it was just like such a like Illuminati ass house. And like Chris and I were talking about that the other day. Like that was just something everyone brushed over.
It's so crazy because we really like I've only been here like 6 years and so I've lived like 7 lives during that time. It really is so interesting.
I'm moving to Wisconsin.
Like you said Hyde earlier and like literally like I got like the shivers because I'm like I can't imagine stepping foot into Hyde now, but I lived there. I loved it.
I think certain people are meant to just be in LA forever. And even Trisha came on our pod and was talking about like people moving out of LA kind of canceling themselves and making jokes at like Jeffrey moving away. But like suddenly I'm moving to Wyoming and getting yaks. Like you chose peace.
No, I was happy he had his yaks until he started eating them. I was like, slay with the yaks. And then he started fucking eating them.
Damn, you killed Ronald the yak and now he's jerky.
Yeah, how are you going to, like, it's like if tomorrow I was like, hey, you want a bite of my sandwich? It's Murph. Like, that's horrible.
That's insane.
I want to get a second cat so bad, but unfortunately I'm about to leave on a worldwide comedy tour. I'm a comedian. Spread the word.
Okay, like ours.
No. I'm going to do stand-up comedy. What do you think?
Do you know what's funny? I went to a Trevor Wallace show the other night and I thought this to myself.
You went to a Trevor Wallace show without telling me? That is betrayal. That is betrayal.
Well, I told you on the last
told you.
episode. Remember I told you? I was like, I think, I don't know. I'm rebranding him in my head. He's an Australian now. It's fine. He's gone, literally. But
no, I said that. You didn't say
no,
that.
I said this. Roll the clip.
You said you had a dream about him, and I said I saw him on Giggly Squad, and I have a crush on him.
No,
you stole him back.
No. On that episode, roll the clip. I told you we'd been texting.
You said, yeah.
He was also mine first.
He was never yours, and you gave him. If
I
you
made out
wanted
with
him,
him
you would have
first.
kept him.
I made out with him first.
You gave him to me.
I went on a date, not a date. Made out with him first. We watched
yeah,
Pawn
and I went
Stars.
on a proper date.
So maybe he respects you more, but he was still mine first.
I can't believe we're fighting over Trevor Wallace right now. I'm literally red.
No one's ending up with him. Like, what are we saying?
I'm not even kidding. I really have had I've been sad about Trevor recently. I feel like he's the one that got away.
It's so funny because I kind of he's just so funny. Like I'm realizing I need a funny guy.
He is, and I should have appreciated him more.
But I left him at a show if it makes you feel any better. And then like
I can't believe you secretly. That's how I know you knew you were doing something wrong. Is you didn't even tell me you
Bible, not at all. Like I was out drinking with Ari, and then Trevor was like, "Oh, like we were already texting," and then he was like, "Oh, I have a show in 30 minutes," and I was like, "Oh, I'll pull up." But then I left before he got off stage, and I think he like was like, "Why would you do that?"
Or
I don't know.
Whatever.
We get have joint custody.
No,
we already have joint custody. We've done the
same.
We've done the same amount of hooking up with him.
No, but once you hand him off to me, it's like you can't take him back. It's not fair. That's like if tomorrow I was like, I want the jet guy back.
You could have him back.
No, but not even ask for him. It's like if all of a sudden I was like, oh yeah, actually I just hung out with him last night, and you were like, wait, what the fuck?
But we're just weird for sharing men. I should have never let you go on the damn date with Trevor.
You're right. This is not normal behavior for people
at all.
Trevor, call one of us.
It's just Aaron. He's like, I'm done with these bitches. That was never supposed to be a podcast topic, but here we are.
I miss you, Trevor. Call me. Seriously, I don't even have Trevor's number, so honestly, you win.
No, whatever.
I just DM him. Even when we went on the date, he DM'd me here. I'm like, can you text me? Like, be for real.
Been there. We have Devin Lee Carlson and Billie Eilish.
Love that. Although I did just run into Devin, and I was shrooming. I was shrooming at SZA, and I literally thought I saw an angel. I was like, I walked out, like I was like going to the bathroom by myself, and I walked out and I saw Devin, and I struggle a lot with this, not being able to differentiate between like whether I'm a fan of somebody or they're my friend.
Yeah,
because like sometimes I just like, have I met you, or am I just obsessed with you?
100% same. And
so I just like, I wasn't gonna say anything to her, but then she's like, oh my god, you've been my whole For You page. I was like, and I was streaming so hard that I was like,
a literal angel just spoke to me.
Yeah, and then I don't even know if I spoke back to her.
So the people probably know, if you listen to Canceled, you know, Devin Lee Carlson, owner of Wildflower Cases, sister of Sydney Carlson,
fashion icon,
dated Jesse Rutherford, bandmate of the Neighborhood. I don't know, what is he, the singer?
He's the lead singer of the Neighborhood.
Okay, slay. Super hot. They dated for like 7 years,
8 years, I think,
and then they broke up, and then he immediately started dating Billie Eilish. And then
I don't know how immediate it was, but he did. Yeah,
in my head it was 2 days, but it was probably literally years. And they started dating, and the internet was obviously kind of up in arms about that because their age gap and like blah blah blah. And Billie was like, oh, this is my man, we're together forever, whatever. Billie ends up breaking up with Mr. Neighborhood, and no one has ever seen Devin Lee Carlson and Billie interact. And the other night,
they were already friends.
Really?
They were friends before Billie started dating him. So that's why I was like, when they started dating, I was like, oh no.
I believe that. Because Devin's like such a cool girl. Like I feel like I could see her just being over it.
And I'm such a Devin vlog watcher, and she'll be like on a plane and she'll be like listening to Billie Eilish. I'm like, slay.
But so the other night they went out to what I think was a Halloween party.
Why don't we get invited
and
to those?
I actually have a fun story about the one time I went to Halloween party. I saw someone do heroin, but okay. And that's why I'll never be invited back for saying that right now. But
the way you said his first like full name too.
Yeah, maybe bleep his name. They went to his party and they were like seen leaving holding hands, Devin and Billie, and that's so girl coded. Like there's just something I love about that.
It is. There's no camaraderie
like that.
Quite like you know when you befriend somebody who you've dated the same guy. Sometimes I don't like it as much. I've made a TikTok about this before, but like, have you ever had a girl come up to you and be like, oh my god, we both dated like so and so,
and they're weird about it? Yeah.
But sometimes like it depends on how I feel about the situation. Like after me and DC ended, or Mr. DC ended, I talked about it on the podcast, and I got like probably 60 DMs of girls being like, oh my god, same, and I wanted to die.
Well, the hey girly of it all, and like it was at the same time of it all, is like what like that happened to me with Maud, like where Maud was like,
not even just the same time, but if I still care about a situation, like I don't want to hear about you hooking up with it. Like I don't want to bond over that. But so long as I'm over it.
Like Alyssa Violet was my therapist for years. Like that was like how our friendship like really came about. Like there are certain people that like, you know, like you can like build a bond with.
Had like my last relationship, I had to reach out to his ex and just be like, so what the fuck was that? What happened?
That's fair. Okay. I have a story from Halloween.
Okay.
It's about a celebrity. Their brand online is very clean. Like, you know what I mean? They're just, all their fans are like very young, and what they do is like, you know, their whole brand is very modest, very clean, like very whatever. Like they probably wouldn't even love to like be seen in some shit with me, right? Inside of Hollywood, like people who know this person know that they're like the exact opposite of their brand, like bad, like a lot of drugs, like a lot of like really dark shit. Like I'll just always see them at like 9 a.m. at an after party, like doing crazy drugs and like.
What are you doing at the party at 9 a.m.?
Probably following Chris Miles there if we're gonna really. No, but valid. I've just seen them do some like really dark shit, right? But then like I'll see them sober and they're really nice. Like I don't think they're like I think they're a troubled, dark person a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of people know that, but people still love them, you know? And it's Halloween week and we're playing, it's like after a party and a bunch of people and I, including this person, are playing a game of Never Have I Ever, right? And the weird thing about this person is every year they dress up as the same thing and not online. They're posting online dressed up as, you know what I mean, normal shit. And then every single year of Halloween week, I see them out dressed in the same costume as the same thing. Can I tell you what it is?
What is it?
Jeffrey Dahmer. I don't think anyone should dress as Jeffrey Dahmer more than once.
Pushing it.
You really like Jeffrey Dahmer. Why? 3 times? Are you paying an homage? Like it. No one should dress as Jeffrey Dahmer more than one time. That's all I know to say.
Yeah.
No one should ever be like. Imagine just every year someone's Ted Bundy. Imagine every year I was Charles Manson. Like
Just
that's
every
weird.
year is weird.
Every year is so. And to like stop. Like you're not posting that.
Like that's just the vibe.
Low key be that. You know. And we're playing Never Have I Ever in a circle of like 15 people. And this person was already saying like weird shit all night, like just very dark, weird shit, you know? And then everyone's playing this very innocent game of never have I ever done Molly. Me, that's like the most innocent thing ever. But like never have I ever done Molly, never have I ever skydive, never have I ever whatever. And every time it would get around to this person dressed as Jeffrey Dahmer, they would be like not funny. It's not funny. Never have I ever had thoughts about killing the person that I was in love with.
Whoa.
And then like it'd go all around again and it'd be like, never have I ever been cheated on. Never have I ever done mushrooms. Never have I ever graduated college. And then it would get back around to him and he'd go, never have I ever killed an animal.
Jeffree Star's like, fuck them yaks.
And it just kept going, and eventually the game ended. Like they didn't physically get to like murder, but they got like as close as you could possibly get to murder.
Ooh, he's got a dark mind. I wonder what he's going through.
But who does that? Who lets that go through Never Have I Ever dressed as Jeffrey Dahmer? Like who lets that out?
I mean, him apparently. What the fuck?
And just imagine sitting there like as like a
Do you
bunny.
think he has
like,
anxiety?
Whoa.
Like if I said some shit like that, I would be still thinking about it to this day.
Never have I ever killed an animal.
What, did anyone else put a finger down?
No. Me dressed as a bunny,
Could you
scared
not-
for my life.
Rip. My favorite Halloween costume. I'll tell you what it is. It was that whole group that dressed up as you, Trisha, James. Is that it?
And Jeffrey.
And Jeffrey.
It was Antonio Garza and friends.
It was so good. What I admired about it was like the thought and like effort they put into all the TikToks were crazy. Like
the sounds, like they had to have made
like
those sounds.
Antonio as Jeffrey like driving off in the car, like perfect transition. I was like, Jesus Christ, they did make the sounds. They had to have.
They had to have made the sounds because I've never heard the sounds in my life.
Wait, can we find it?
And
It's so good.
the kid who dressed up as me did multiple looks. Like there was Hefner, there was mugshot.
It was so good.
Like all of it. It was so and the TikToks were getting like 15 million views. I was like, damn, like I'm me. Can I get something? Like fuck. Like
it was
so good.
good.
It was so good. I loved Ice Spice's Betty Boop.
She was cute as Betty.
She was so cute and sexy as Betty Boop. You know, I sent her my party and she like was like, should I come? Where is it? Didn't come. I was so excited. I spent the whole night like
Ice.
Like, where are you?
Can I call you Ice?
I loved Northwest as Kanye.
So good. I wish like everyone's saying they wish we could see his reaction. I really would love to see his reaction.
Yeah, it like made me just feel something. I don't know.
Kim is such a good mom, and I know everyone says that, but it is like
filming a TikTok where your daughter dresses up as a person you're co-parenting with.
Yeah,
like, that's
and
hard.
I was just like so in one of those families where it was like, I fucking hate your dad. I hope he dies. You know.
But you know Kim's not like that.
Yeah.
Again, that's crazy. Imagine your parents never say a bad word about each other in front of you.
Yeah, and just like, yeah, no, can't
At
imagine
all.
it. In fact,
I went on Twitter and I asked for costumes we should review. Let's see if there's anything. Trisha and I will say Trisha won Halloween.
As the Idol was so good. Did you see she just dressed up yesterday as Addison Rae?
Addison Rae reading that. That's the thing is she loves like a niche meme.
One thing about me though, I'm an Addison Rae super fan. She was not reading that book. You can't walk and read. The same people that there was this girl who posted her like in the ocean reading. I'm like, that you can't do that.
So the paparazzi that shoots her is my favorite paparazzi in the world. I always talk about this Bobby because he's one of the most talented paparazzis. Like some of the most iconic shots of all time are Bobby, but his personality, like we became really good friends, and he is like so funny, so honest. Like he'd like come and shoot me and he'd like tell me like, guess who just fucking called me, they're so fucking rude, like look at this person's manager and what they're saying, like just like an open book, and post it all online. Like,
oh yeah, I remember when
Bobby
he ate
Pap
Kendall
LA
the
of
fuck
anyone
up.
Like he will literally be like, he doesn't like Haley and Kendall, so he'll like get paid to like get called to shoot them and then be like, Nepo baby called me again. Like doesn't give a fuck, like calls out everyone. He shoots Addison and he only does setup shots. Like he'll occasionally be outside of a restaurant, but it's like even last
he's
time,
not like waiting for somebody. He's got
every time I see him
call.
and he pops me now, like we don't work together in the sense that I call him anymore, but like I'll see him out, like I'll be leaving a restaurant and he'll be like, oh, let me shoot you, like I'm right here, and then he'll tell me like so and so called me here tonight. Like it's like he only does called shots, so that's so funny to do a Bobby photo walking reading a book. That's iconic.
I mean, she's just, I love
the
her
Britney
and
promo.
her street style, like everything about her is so camp.
Her
I love
paparazzi shots are so young,
but
Britney
like,
Spears.
you can't walk and read.
I've never read or walked actually. So
Maybe she can. Maybe she's an intellectual.
Trisha Paytas and Moses as Travis and Taylor. I regret that I didn't do that.
good.
I wish I made Jeff do that.
It
Like,
would have been
almost
funny,
instead
but it's
of
almost
Barbie and
like
Ken.
it would have just been like a needle in a haystack of a million Taylor and
Well, we were
Travis.
the Halloween store Barbie and Ken.
Good point.
Like at that point, you know what I mean?
I want to do a couple's costume maybe next year.
Right. Because that's what that was. I
ship you and Jeff so hard right now. I told you this before we started, but I don't know why I'm in this era of like, I truly believe you guys are in love and I can't be convinced otherwise.
keep getting tagged, obviously always in the fan edits of Jeff and I go to click on the comments, and every single time it's you as a top commenting ship. I'm like, you know us, like what do you do?
One thing about me is when I'm online. Like I'm a fan. You know what I mean? I'm just with the people and you can let me just behave however I want to. I ship.
And I was going to say I appreciate that, but I don't.
Why?
Well, we almost podcasted about this last time, and then I was like, no, cut that, because it's like just such a long, annoying conversation to me. But I think it's so mentally damaging to be severely shipped with someone.
Yeah, I think, God, somebody else talked about this one time, but it's like almost like you start to like look at, and it's like, wait, are we looking at each other that way? Like
It makes you like completely reassess your reality with someone, and
that's how I feel about our relationship. I read the comments and I'm like, shit, do I hate her?
But I mean, that's what it is exactly. Is like comments can just change your perception, but like the shipping shit, like I think fucks with you more, because it's like that's friendship, you know. Like if they want to comment on our friendship, we can. I don't know. Like just after like the Jake wedding era, it's made me so cautious of like when I notice that the whole internet ships me with someone, like to not let that affect my relationship with them, you know.
Okay, fine.
No, but then I see these edits and I'm like,
wait, that is a beautiful couple.
not even that. I'm just like, it just makes you like reassess so many conversations and memories. And it's like,
no, but
I
like
feel
the way
I-
they edit this shit though, I'm like, they could convince me that I'm like head over heels in love with like Ari.
Yeah, that's fair. That is
like
fair.
just like the laughs and like the looks at each other in the slow-mo with the songs. I'm like, wait.
And it's just yeah, and then we'll like feed into it's just this whole thing to navigate.
I'm just saying it wouldn't be the worst.
I love Jeff more than life itself. And there's so many like characteristics of him that I do feel like that like oh my God, I love this about him so much, you know? But then there's so many differences in the two of us that I feel like it's like I don't know if it would ever work, you know? So I enjoy our friendship.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm never getting married. I'm still hanging out with Sailor Steve.
You were on the boat last night.
I wasn't on the boat. He was at my house. And I have been to his house. Like, he has a house, and we've been going to the house.
Really?
Yeah. But
do you like him more?
Update, he's not homeless, which, no biggie.
Do you like him more?
I don't know. I'm really like...
My ankles are out, and it's making my feet look huge. No one look.
I can't tell how I feel about the situation, because it's like... I don't not like him, but it's like, I can't see us ever dating. So it's just like, well.
It's hard.
But I like, he's just so hot. So I'm like, I don't want to stop hanging out with him. And like.
I want to fall in love so bad.
Me too, really bad. But I like, it needs to be someone like, this guy's not someone I can picture like merging into my life in any way. Like I can't picture him like coming to one of our shows or like hanging out with like the friends. I guess you did meet him, but like.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. It's like it would have to be at these like weird little like random instances. Yeah, it's not like our lives could ever
fit into my life, and I don't think he would ever have any interest in that, which I don't like.
That is actually such a big part of being in love. I think I've only ever been in love with people where I felt like our lives could.
Yeah, well, my last relationship, he didn't want to be around anybody I cared about ever. In fact, if I would go to dinner with you, I would like literally get fucking ripped apart. Yeah.
Yeah, I've only literally ever like fallen in love with people where I feel like.
But you're so good at like just immediately being like, okay, yeah, you're gonna come to this, because it's like I feel like you're running the show.
But so many people,
I always like just go with whatever they want to do.
But so many people would come and I'd be like, you suck here. I don't love you.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like the people who would get along with my friends and I would love their friends, and I don't know. I've been in love twice in my life. That also sounds like it's like fucking like so much. Maybe 3 times. I don't know. We're iffy on Mon's side, but I'm at the point where like I'm scared I'm never gonna be in love again the ways that I have, not the ways that I have been, because I guess they were toxic, but like, you know, like will I ever love as hard as I've been in love before?
Yes, of course. And you like you always feel that way. I just was watching or reading something about this, I think, about like emotional permanence, where like I think it's an ADHD thing actually, where you like can't imagine like feeling any differently than you do in the current moment. So like when you're in love, you can't imagine not being in love. Oh, well, I got that. But like, and the opposite, like for example, like when I'm like really sad, I can't imagine being happy, and when I'm really happy, I can't imagine not being that happy. But that's like how I think you feel with love.
No, with ADHD, if anything, it's like your mind's everywhere. I don't know. I think I've also only been in love with people that I felt like as I'm everywhere, they're a constant. I don't know. Chris also just fucked me up, dude. Like sometimes I just wish I never fell in love with Chris Miles.
I don't know. I think it taught you a lot. I think if it weren't him, it was going to be somebody else, like someone else that was so wrong for you, like to teach you the lessons you needed to learn.
But not even, I just think I'll never meet someone that understands me, knows me, gets me like he does. That's as funny as he is.
You will.
Even to this day. Well, maybe
not as funny as he is. You got to listen. Let's be realistic.
Just like the shit I can tell him, like the shit we can talk about. He gives me the best advice anyone's ever given me, which is crazy for a Balenciaga fucking SoundCloud idiot.
I know. The public perception of Chris is so different than who Chris actually is.
And it's like, I think I'll always wish everyone I date has his personality.
Yeah, that's tough. That's honestly blessing though. You're lucky you have somebody like that you can look back on. But it's not like,
we're gonna go get married. Like I can't.
No, but like God, I look back and I'm like, God, I pray to God I never meet a man like that one ever again.
But it's so scary to be like, I'm never gonna meet someone with a personality as much as I love yours.
But that's not reasonable. That's like you know.
It's just been like 4 or 5 years of it now, where I felt that way for 4 years. So I'm just like, fuck, will I ever?
I don't know. The other day I was like saying how I don't think I could ever have kids because there's no way I could love them as much as my cat. And I feel like that's like Chris is your cat, and you're gonna end up having a kid.
Do we end on that?
Like you're gonna end up loving. Like you just don't know yet.
I know.
It's going to be better.
The way
than
we were
hers.
supposed to be rating celebrity Halloween costumes. Like, why doesn't Hasbulla dress up?
I don't think he has to.
Halloween's is like an American thing.
Oh, it's Halloween's only an
bummer.
American thing.
For the most part.
No.
Dixie as the Queen of Hearts was super hot.
Dixie is super hot.
Dixie's so hot.
I'm obsessed with it. That's my sister. I'm a D'Amelio, seriously.
Seriously. Stassi Baby and Jaden 8 boots. Okay, whatever. Fuck it. Honestly, we don't need to do all that. It would only be funny with Ari and pictures on the screen, and I'm too lazy to do all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This has been a good episode.
Yeah, we got a long one.
Yeah, we got a long one in here. I'm trying to think. I wanted to talk about Sam and Colby's Conjuring series. Have you seen it?
I don't even know who Sam and Colby are.
What the fuck? Okay, honestly. Should we be done with this episode?
Yeah, we have to do a whole nother one, sister.
Honestly, that's so true. Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Canceled Podcast. When you're done, go watch Sam and Colby's Conjuring series. It changed everything for me. I love them. They're my dream guests right now.
They're the ones. Are they the ones who do Escape the Night?
No. But they try to escape a night all the time.
Can we go on Escape the Night? It's coming back.
Let me make a call.
We love you guys.
We love you guys. Bye, Canceled
Stay
Podcast.
true.